Hello, dear students. Welcome to the another session on game theory. In this session, we'll solve one of the problems asked in the previous question papers based on that dominance rule. Here it is. This is a question paper problem asked in June-July 2013. Reduce the following game by dominance property and solve it. There are two players, player A and player B. Player A plays with four strategies, Roman number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Whereas player B playing with five strategies, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this is the payoff matrix. So here the speciality of this problem is, even though it is asked that solve the following game by dominance property, but here one can see that there is a saddle point exist in this particular problem. The saddle point you can calculate here, you can find here. First we will find the row minimum. That is 1, 3, 2, 7, 4, 1 is the minimum. Then 3, 4, 1, 5, 6, again 1 is the minimum. And here 5 is the minimum and here 0 is the minimum. And the maximum of the minimum is 5 because 1, 1, 5, 0. Among 1, 1, 5, 0, the maximum is 5. Maximin is equal to 5. And similarly, minimum value for the, maximum value for the column 1, 3, 6, 2, 6 is the maximum for the first strategy. For the second strategy, you can see here 3, 4, 5, 0. So that is 5 is the maximum. And here 7 is the maximum. Here also 7 is the maximum. And here 6 is the maximum. That is 6, 5, 7, 7, 6. Among this maximum, the minimum value is 5. It means minimum of the maximum is 5 and the maximum of the minimum, that is the maximum, is equal to 5 and minimax is also 5. It means the saddle point exists here and the player 1 or the player A plays with the third strategy and player B plays with the second strategy and the value of the game is 5. Even though the saddle point exists in this particular problem, but in the question paper, he has asked you to find the value of the game and optimum strategy by dominance rule. So let us apply the dominance rule, whether the dominance rule also gives the same value as the saddle point has given. Let us check it. Okay, we'll start with applying the dominance rule by checking the row wise. Here, 1, 3, 2, 7, 4. Let us compare first and second row. 3 is greater than 1, 4 is greater than 3, but 1 is less than 2. No comparison between first and second. Let us make the comparison between first and third. 1 is less than 6, 3 is less than 5, 2 is less than 7, but 7 is greater than 6. No comparison between 1 and third. Next, 1 and fourth. 1 is less than 2, but 3 is greater than 0. Again, no comparison. Let us compare between second and third. 3 is less than 6, 4 is less than 5, 1 is less than 7, 5 is less than 6, but 6 is greater than 5. No comparison. Then 3 and 2. 3 is greater than 2, 4 is greater than 0, 1 is less than 6. Again, there is no definite comparison or the dominancy exists between second and fourth. Then let us compare between third and fourth. 6 is greater than 2, 5 is greater than 0, 7 is greater than 6, 6 is greater than 3, 5 is greater than 1. So this is superior row and this is inferior row. Here, this is the inferior row. The player A wants to eliminate this one because he wants to maximize his gain. That is why the strategy or the row which gives minimum comparing to the other will be he will eliminate. So this inferior row will be eliminated and the reduced matrix is this. Next, again, we'll go for comparison. In the already we have compared with the row, one entire row was eliminated. So as we know that there is no any definite dominancy between any of the rows. Let us go for finding the dominancy in columns. The first and second, 3 is greater than 1, 4 is greater than 3, but 5 is less than 6. No dominancy here. Then first and third, 2 is greater than 1, but 1 is less than 3. Then 7 is greater than 1, 5 is greater than 3, and 6 is equal to 6. 7 is greater than 1, 5 is greater than 3, and 6 is equal to 6. Means this is a superior column and this is the inferior column. This superior column will be eliminated because the player wants to minimize his loss. If he plays with this, he will lose more, and he wants to retain this comparing to this one so that he can minimize his loss. So this will be eliminated and reduced matrix is this. Then again, let us make the comparison. Since the column is eliminated, once again you have to check the dominancy between the rows. 3 is greater than 1, 4 is greater than 3, but 1 is less than 2. No dominancy between these two. 1 and third. 6 is greater than 1, 5 is greater than 3, 7 is greater than 2, 5 is greater than 4. See here, 6 is greater than 1, 5 is greater than 3, 7 is greater than 2, 5 is greater than 4. So this is a superior and this is inferior. This inferior column will be eliminated. Then this is the reduced matrix. Then again, let us check for the dominancy. Here 6 is greater than 3, 5 is greater than 4, 7 is greater than 1, but 5 is less than 6. No dominancy between the rows. In the column, 3 is less than 4, but 6 is greater than 5. 3 is greater than 1, but 6 is less than 7. 3 is less than 6, but 6 is greater than 5. 4 is greater than 1, but 5 is less than 7. 4 is less than 6, 5 is equal to 5. 6, that is this column is dominating over this. This is the superior column. This is the inferior. So superior column will be eliminated. Then the reduced matrix is this. Then again, let us check for the compare. 6 is greater than 3, 5 is greater than 4, 7 is greater than 1. This row dominates over this one. This is a superior, this is the inferior. Inferior row will be eliminated. Okay, now we can say that there is only one row and 3 columns. Among this, the 5 is the least. So the player B will play with the strategy 2, which is corresponding to this 5. This 5 comes in the second strategy. The player B plays with the second strategy, and let us go back to the original problem. Player B plays with the second that is second strategy, and whereas the player A plays with the third strategy where the 5 exists. The third strategy is the optimum strategy for player A. Second strategy is the optimum strategy for the player B, and this is the 5 is the value of the game. Even though if the saddle point exists, minimax equal to maximin, but please follow the whatever is asked in the problem. So here he has asked you to find out solve the game by using the dominance property. You straight away go for applying the dominance property without checking whether the saddle point exists or what. This is only for the cross verification. We did that. We found that saddle point, and again, as per the requirement, we have applied the dominance property, and again we found the same value. That is 5 is the value of the game. That is saddle point itself, and the pure strategy exists in this particular problem. After this, after finding when there is a pure strategy, that is a saddle point exists, then you can easily find out the optimal strategy and value of the game. Optimum strategy for player A and player B will be only one, that is the pure strategy. But when the saddle point does not exist, as we have seen in the previous session, then what we did is we reduced the game by applying the dominance property and reduced it to the 2 by 2, 2 rows and 2 columns. Then once it is reduced to 2 by 2, then we can solve this by using either arithmetic or algebraic method. There are two methods by which you can find the that is optimum strategy as well as value of the game if it is reduced to 2 by 2 game. So this comes under the third rule of the game theory, that is solve for a mixed strategy. Okay, here we'll take one problem based on this one to solve. And as I told, there are two methods, arithmetic and algebraic method. Among these two methods, arithmetic method is very simple and easy to understand, and also it gives the solution in a very few number of steps. Okay, let us follow arithmetic method. As per your syllabus, there is no any specific mentioned in the syllabus that you have to follow this method. There is no any the method mentioned in the syllabus. Okay, so let us follow the arithmetic method for solving the mixed strategy problems where the game is of 2 by 2. Okay, here it is. This arithmetic method. This arithmetic method is also called the odds method, by which we will find the optimum strategy and value of the game. Please remember, arithmetic method is also called the odds method. Why it is called the odds method, we'll see while solving the problem by using this method. Okay, so let us take one problem. In a game of matching coins with two players, suppose one player wins rupees 2 when there are two heads and wins nothing when two tails. T means tails. And loses rupee 1 when there are one head and one tail. Determine the payoff matrix, the best strategies for each players, and the value of the game. See, please remember, this is a frequently asked question. If you go through the previous question papers, many times it was asked. This is a problem based on the matching coins. There are two players, and each player is having a coin. When the two players toss the coins at the same time, when the both the coins will show the head, then the player A wins rupees 2. It means the player B loses the same amount. And when there are two tails, when both the coins will show the tails, then uh, nothing will be won by any of these two players. Then when one of the coins shows head and another one tail, then under such case, the rupee 1 will be lost by player 1. Means player 1 will lose rupee 1 and the same amount will be won by the player 2. Here the most important thing is the determination of payoff matrix. Please remember the strategies here are head and tail. H is the strategy 1, tail is the strategy 2 for the player A as well as player B. Here the payoff matrix is, just see here, head and tail. Head and tail, head and tail, these are the two strategies for player 1, P1, P2, player 2. And as per the given in the statement, when there are two heads, the player, both the coins show the head, that is head by player 1 and head by the player 2, then the outcome is rupees 2. The payout or the payoff is rupees 2. That rupees 2 will be won by player 1 and the same amount will be lost by the player 2. And when the both the coins show tails, that is T and T, then nobody will win anything. Nothing will be won by the players, means 0 will be the outcome. Then if it occurs opposite of the coins, that is one of the coins shows tail and another one coin shows head, then 1 rupee will be lost by the player 1, means the outcome is -1. Once again I remind you, the game will be always in favor of player 1. If the values are positive, means that much value won by player 1, and if the values or the payouts are negative, it means that much amount that player 1 loses. So here, as per the statement given in the problem, the if the both the coins show opposite, then 1 rupee will be lost by the player 1. The same thing is written here also. Head and tail and head will make the player 1 to lose by rupee 1. This is the determination of the payoff matrix, or this is the representation of the statement, problem statement into the payoff matrix. This is a payoff matrix. Please remember this. Heads and tails are the strategies. Okay. Next, let us solve this by using the arithmetic method. Please carefully observe here. In case of arithmetic method, this method is applied when the problem is or the game is having 2 by 2 matrix. Even if the problem is given more than 2 rows and 2 columns, then you have to reduce that by applying the dominance rule. Then when it is reduced to 2 by 2, then we can apply arithmetic method to solve, to find the optimal strategies and value of the game. Okay. So first what we need to do here is we need to find out the oddments. They are called as the oddments. These oddments are the difference between the payouts by the one strategy of a particular player. Suppose if the player 1 plays with the pure strategy H, then when both are H, then 2 rupees will be 1. When one is H and another one is T, then you lose 1. It means the difference of this strategy, that is 2 and minus 1 difference is 3. Please remember, don't make any confusion here. The difference I am telling you, this is a 2, the difference between 2 and minus 1. Suppose if there was a 0, difference between 2 and 0 is 2. And since it is a minus 1, that is a below the 0 line. One more below the 0 means it is 2 plus 1. Or you can take that 2 minus of minus 1. So that is 2 plus 1, that is a 3. This 3 should be written in the next row, in the second row. The difference of these payouts of the first strategy should be written in front of the second row. This is called as the oddments of player 1 or player A. Similarly, here the difference between 0 and minus 1, again it is 1. Please remember, oddments will not carry any negative value. They are always in a positive value. That is why I am using the word difference instead of subtracting this from this. No, you have to consider the difference between a maximum and a minimum. Here 0 is the maximum, minus 1 is the minimum. Difference between these two is 1. Here minus 1 and 2, difference between these two is 3. This difference is written in the another row, and this difference is written in the another opposite row or the remaining row. The difference between minus 1 and 0 is 1. So that is written here. These 1 and 3 are oddments. I hope you have understood this one clearly. Then the same thing has to be carried forward for the player 2 also. Here player 2, when he plays with the first pure strategy, and when the player A playing with the 2 strategies, that is a 2 and minus 1, he is going to lose 2 and he is going to win 1. The difference here, that is a 2 and minus 1, the difference is 3. So that 3 is to be written in the second column, and the difference of the second column should be written below the first column. That is a 0 and minus 1, the difference is 1. This is called as the oddments. These oddments are of with the player 2. So that is why this arithmetic method is called as the oddments method or odd method. Then after finding the oddments method, again one more thing I would like to clarify here. These oddments are nothing but these are the frequencies with which the corresponding player going to play with. Okay, I'll give one instant. Suppose if the two teams are playing a cricket match, cricket series, one day series, Here there are four matches are to be played in that series. Four matches are to be played in that series. Under four matches, the first team is going to play with a one strategy with one match, and remaining another strategy with three matches. He is going to play three matches among the four matches with the second strategy, and one match with the first strategy. Okay, in case of cricket, normally what strategies they follow is, say for example, two strategies. Here, you will take this problem itself. There are two strategies. Instead of head and tail, let us take this as a strategy one and strategy two. This is the Indian team and this is the Australian team. The Indian team and Australian team are going to play a series, one day series, where they have to play four number of matches. The two strategies that Indian team is following while playing with Australia is playing with the three spinners or playing with the three pace bowlers. Okay, playing with the three spinners, it is considered as a strategy one, and playing with the three pace bowlers is considered as a strategy two. And similarly, the Australian team is again also following the same strategy, that is playing with the three spinners and playing with the three fast bowlers or the pace bowlers. These are the two strategies. Here, these oddments, as I have told, these oddments indicate the frequency with what that particular strategy is going to be used in a total number of games. In the total number of four, that is here the four matches are going to be played by India with Australia. Out of four, one match they are going to play, Indian team is going to play with the first strategy, that is playing with three spinners. And remaining three matches will be played by Indian team with three pace bowlers. And here also, in this case, the oddments we have determined here, the Australian team is going to play with India with a strategy of three spinners, but only one match they are going to play with, and the remaining three matches they are planning to, or they are using the second strategy, that is playing with three pace bowlers. I hope you have understood what is strategy and what is oddments. Oddments means number of times, whatever the total. This here 1 plus 3 means 4. There are 4 total matches. Out of 4, the first strategy is used once and the second strategy is used thrice. And similarly here also. Okay. So this oddments means what? They are frequency. Then next, with the help of this frequency, we can calculate the ratio or the distribution or the percentage. Here, total there are 1 plus 3, 4 matches. Among the 4 matches, the first strategy is played 1 means 1 upon 4, that is 25%. Total 4, 1 means 25%. 1 upon 4 means 0.25 or 25%. Here the player 1 is using this first strategy, so that is 25%. And the second strategy 75%, that is 3 divided by 3 plus 1. Okay, so this 3 by 4, this ratio obtained by 3 divided by total number of matches, or the total number of games is 3 plus 1, that is 4. 3 by 4 means 0.75, 0.25, 0.75, or 1 upon 4, 3 by 4. This is the frequency, or this is the ratio with which the corresponding strategies are going to be played by the player. Okay, and similarly here also 1 divided by 1 plus 3, that is 4. 1 divided by 4, 3 divided by 3 plus 1, that is 4. 1/4 and 3/4. Please remember, suppose if any of the player A or player B, playing first strategy with a frequency of x or the probability of x, then the second will be 1 minus x, because the probability of first and sum of probabilities of first and second should be equal to 1. That is, you just check here, 1 upon 4 plus 3 by 4 means what? 4 by 4, that is equal to 1, or 25% and 75% means 100%. Here also 1 upon 4 plus 3 upon 4 is equal to 4 by 4, that is a 1. 0.25, 0.75, that is 1. That is a probability. If it is a x, then it will be 1 minus x. If it is 0.25, then it is 1 minus 0.25, that is 0.75. Okay, so these are the strategies. How much the proportionate of the strategies the player A and player B or the player 1 and player 2 are playing with. Please remember, this is the optimum strategy. Suppose if there was a pure strategy, then only one strategy with 100% used to be played by player A and player B. But here it is a mixed strategy. Two strategies they are going to use here. So out of two, one strategy is played with a 25% frequency, and another one is 75% frequency or the proportion. And similarly here also 25% with the first and 75% with the second. Now I think it is clear that this is a mixed strategy, mixture of two strategies the player A and player B are playing. But you need to find out with what proportion the two strategies are played by the player A and player B. Okay, so this is finding the optimum strategy. Then next, the most important thing is that is finding the value of the game. Okay, value of the game finding is very interesting. You just check here. Using value of the game using P1's oddments. The P1's oddments means what? P1 is this. These are the P1's oddments. Okay. Here, when the player 1 is playing two strategy and at the same time player P2 is playing with the single strategy, then outcome is 2 and minus 1 for the player 1. The 2, whatever the amount 2 he wins, that 2 will be won by this much proportion again. Please remember here, this much proportion of amount 2 that player 1 is going to play when he plays with the H, and at the same time the player 2 is playing with the H. So that is 2 rupees means what? It is a, suppose if only one strategy was used, that is a pure strategy, then this 2 was the that is the value of the game. But here he is using the mixture of two. So one gives 2 rupees, another one gives minus 1. But this 2 rupees is the proportionate of 2 is 25%. That is 2 into 1 by 4 plus minus 1 into 3 by 4 is the total payout or the total amount won by the player 1 when the player 2 is playing with a single strategy. Okay. And similarly, here when the player 2 is playing with the second strategy, then the player 1 is going to win how much amount? That is minus 1 into 1 by 4 plus 0 into 3 by 4. That is minus 1 into 1 by 4 plus 0 into 3 by 4. So this will be the value of the game. And similarly, when you use the oddments of the player 2, then it is 2 into 1 by 4 minus 1 into 3 by 4. 2 into 1 by 4 minus 1 into 3 by 4. 2 into 1 by 4 means what? When the player P2 or the second player is playing with both the strategy, at the same time the player is playing with a single strategy, then what is the outcome? That outcome is, because that player P2 is playing with first strategy with a frequency of 25%, that is 0.25 or 1 upon 4. So 2 rupees, suppose if you would have played with 100%, then you would have won 2 rupees, but he is playing only with a 25%, 1/4 of that. Means 1/4 of 2 means what? That is 2 divided by 4, that is 1.5, that is 1 upon 5, that is 1 upon 2, that is 0.5. Plus, he is also playing with the second strategy, no? That is minus 1 is the outcome. That minus 1 into 3 by 4, that is 1 upon 2 minus 3 upon 4, that will be equal to 0.2 minus 0.25, suppose if you calculate it. And similarly, suppose if the player P1 is playing with the pure strategy T, second strategy, and the player P2 is playing with both the strategies, then the outcome is minus 1 into 1 by 4 plus 0 into 3 by 4. This is what I have written in the next slide. You just see here. Value of the game using P1's oddments. The P2 plays with H. that is a P2 second player is playing with a single strategy, then the value of the game V is equal to 2 into 1 by 4. You just see here, that is 2 into 1 by 4 minus 1 into 3 by 4 minus 1 into 3 by 4, that is 2 by 4 minus 3 by 4, that is minus 1 by 4, that is minus 0.25. Similarly, if you consider the second, then when the player P2 is playing with the pure strategy T, then minus 1 into 1 by 4 plus 0 into 3 by 4, that is it will become 0. Minus 1 into 1 by 4 means minus 1 by 4, that is minus 2.5, minus 0.25. Okay, just here, minus 0.25. And similarly, using P2's oddments, when you use P2's oddments means these are the P2's oddments. When player P1 plays with the single strategy H, then 2 into 1 by 4 minus 1 into 3 by 4. Again, it will be minus 1 by 4 or minus 0.25. And similarly, second, when player P1 is playing with the strategy T, that is minus 1 into 1 by 4 plus 0 upon 0 into 3 by 4, so which will give minus 1 by 4. Then the value of the game is minus 1 by 4. Please concentrate here by whatever the oddments with any of the player P1 using his oddments, then player P2 playing with the single strategy, the outcome or the value of the game will remain same. You just see here minus 0.25 minus 0.25 minus 0.25 minus 0.25. So it means, suppose if you get the value of the game same for all the four consequences, it means your calculation is 100% correct. And finally, the most important thing is what is the conclusion you have drawn out of this game after solving this is the player P1 is playing with the first strategy with the 1/4 frequency or the 1/4 proportion, and the second strategy with a 3/4 proportion. And similarly, player P2 is playing with the first strategy of with the 1/4 and second with the 3/4, and value of the game is minus 1 by 4 or minus 0.25. Please see this and try to understand what exactly is this one. 2 minus 1, 2 minus 1 is the outcome, 1/4 and 3/4, these are the proportionate. 1/4 of 2 rupees, 3/4 of minus 1. Again, always this is a sum, total sum, okay? Because the value was minus 1, that is why minus sign has arrived in between. Here you just see here 1 into 1 by 4 plus 0 into 3 by 4, okay? So the value of the game should be same for all the consequences, all the alternatives, okay? So I hope you have understood this one. Please go through this properly and we'll solve some more problems in the next session. Thank you.